Welcome! Today we're diving into a feeling so many of us know, maybe a little too well, hopelessness. But we're going to look at it from a totally different angle, not as some kind of personal failure, but as a deep physical state that's actually rooted in our biology. Let's get right into it. Seriously, have you ever felt that? Just completely stuck? That feeling deep in your bones that no matter what you do, things are just not going to get better? Well, if you have, you are so not alone. And there's a really powerful biological reason why that feeling is so strong. So here's the big idea we need to wrap our heads around. Hopelessness, it isn't just a sad thought or a bad mood. Think of it as a full-body state of being. It's a signal that your body is in a state of profound biological exhaustion. This is especially true if you're dealing with chronic stress, a long-term illness, or a nervous system that's just stuck in overdrive. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of why your body can get locked into this state. And I want to be super clear, this has nothing to do with a lack of willpower. It's all about your nervous system being stuck in a very specific protective mode. Think about it like this. Your body has a survival mode, right? When that mode is switched on for way too long, which is super common in things like chronic high stress or dysautonomia, it literally cuts off access to the higher level stuff. Hope, creativity, perspective. Those become luxuries your body feels like it just can't afford. It's too busy just trying to survive. So what's actually flipping that survival switch on? Well, it all starts with your brain's own internal alarm system, an alarm that can, and does, get stuck in the on position. Let's take a look at how that happens. Deep inside your brain, you've got the limbic system. It's basically your emotional command center. And the star player there is the amygdala, your little threat detector. When you're dealing with chronic stress or illness, this amygdala gets really twitchy. It starts blasting out danger signals 24/7. And all those signals just drown out the chemicals that let you feel joy and motivation. All of a sudden, simple tasks feel impossible, and your brain starts to see the future as unsafe, or maybe even pointless. You can really think of your brain as having two different operating modes. You've got survival mode, where the amygdala is running the show. Your rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, kind of goes offline. All you can do is focus on threats. But then you've got safety mode. This is where the amygdala chills out, your prefrontal cortex comes back online, and boom, you suddenly have access to creativity and the ability to see a different future. Now, this overactive alarm creates a really nasty, vicious cycle. Here's how it goes. First, your brain detects a threat, and your body gets flooded with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. But when that stress just keeps going and going, the system never gets a chance to power down. So what happens? Eventually, it just crashes. This is what some people call cortisol fatigue, and it's what leads to that feeling of being totally numb, flat, and just depleted. And this constant state of high alert, it doesn't just burn out your stress response, it creates a full-blown energy crisis across your entire body. You are quite literally running on empty. Let's talk about dopamine for a second. That's the molecule of motivation, of reward, of looking forward to things. But things like chronic inflammation and bad sleep, which go hand in hand with chronic stress, they totally mess with dopamine signals. And the result? Apathy, despair. It becomes chemically harder for your brain to feel motivated or to imagine anything good happening. And get this, it's not just in your brain. A huge amount of your body's serotonin, one of the main mood-regulating molecules, is actually made in your gut. So when your gut is inflamed, it sends stress signals right back up to the brain. This creates this awful feedback loop where inflammation makes you feel tired and down. And feeling tired and down, well, it just makes everything worse. But when you boil it all down, it comes down to energy on a cellular level. We're talking about ATP. That's the fuel for every single thing your body does. And when your cells can't make enough of it, everything slows to a crawl. And that includes your brain's ability to manage emotions or even imagine change. That feeling of being stuck, on a very real cellular level, it's an energy crisis. Okay, I know that sounds like a lot, and it is, but here's the really good news. Understanding the biology of the problem, well, that's what shows us the solution. So let's talk about the path back home. Let's talk about how we can start to restore that sense of possibility. This right here, this is the single most important thing to remember. Hopelessness is not a life sentence. It is not permanent. Your brain is plastic, which is just a fancy way of saying it has this incredible ability to change, to unwire old, stuck patterns and to learn new ones. And the process for doing this has a name. It's called limbic restoration. It's all about actively, intentionally retraining your brain's emotional circuits. You're essentially teaching your nervous system, little by little, what it feels like to be safe again. You're teaching it to trust your body and to feel like you have some say in how you feel. So, how do you actually do it? Well, you start by sending your nervous system consistent safety signals. And these aren't just thoughts, they're physical actions. Things like gentle, mindful movement, specific kinds of breath work, connecting with people who make you feel supported, and even using your food to calm inflammation. Every single one of these things is like a little message to your amygdala that says, hey, you're safe, you can power down now. So, here's the real game changer. When you understand the biology behind this feeling, you can finally stop blaming yourself for it. You get to replace all that shame with some much-needed compassion. And you get to replace that paralyzing fear with a clear, biological path forward. I really want to leave you with this idea. If you are feeling hopeless, it is not proof that you are broken. It is not a sign that your life is over. It is a profound, intelligent signal from your nervous system. It is asking for exactly what it needs: a deep sense of safety, some real restorative rest, and meaningful reconnection. And that is a request you can absolutely begin to answer.